Hey Horns, didn't you used to date like a purple chick that was in this last Mandalorian episode?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Didn't she break up with you?
It was mutual, but I mean, she brought it up. Hey guys, welcome in to the Bro Force Squad podcast. We are just a bunch of bros drinking beer, watching movies and TV. This is our review, spoiler heavy, of The Mandalorian, Season 1, Episode 6, Chapter 6, The Prisoner. They always get the episode number and the chapter number the same, which is a little redundant, but that's fine. I'm your host, the Mayor Jeff Hornacek. Before we get started with this review, the four Bro Force Squad TV criteria, which is the acting, the story, our favorite scene, and any theories or questions going forward. Let's meet the fellow bros joining me today. We have the mad scientist Brian Banner in his lab. Banner, what were your thoughts on the episode?
It was enjoyable with an interesting story, but really pissed me off.
Perfect. Nate Thurman, the American hero, the other bro on the pod today. Do you echo those sentiments, or will we have dissenting opinions?
I feel like we're gonna align pretty closely across the board on all this. I enjoyed the episode, but a lot of things kind of pissed me off as far as where they're kind of going with everything.
Or lack
Yeah,
thereof.
Yes.
I've been blowing sunshine up the show's ass for 5 weeks, and today I'm not mad, but I gotta just put my foot down on a few things.
A little disappointed.
Yes.
Which just is worse. So let's dive right into it. The acting and the cast. Nate, I'll let you go first. Who stood out, positive or negative?
Where do we start? So Pascal, obviously, I still love everything he's doing, especially since they have to play off him having a helmet on the whole time. So he has all of his nonverbal cues and all those kinds of things that I think he's still doing really well. Now, this rotation of side cast that's coming in week by week, yeah, Bill Burr just really threw me through a loop when I saw that. I couldn't get on board with that. And I know we had talked off pod a little bit about this. I don't think he truly understood what his identity was in the whole episode. I don't know if that was his fault or if that was a director's fault or someone giving him misdirection when they were trying to feel out the episode out. But he was like sweet. Sometimes he was sour. Sometimes he wasn't his true Bill Burr self, but he really didn't know what direction to go in. And it just totally lost me through the whole episode.
It was kind of like Cary Fukunaga, the director, was like, look, this is the Star Wars universe, so you can't be Bill Burr, but be something kind of close to that at times. And Bill Burr was like, dude, I don't know what you're asking me to do.
Yeah,
and I'm getting a little...
He tries to be a hard ass in the scene where Mando comes in, kicks ass on the droids, and he says, "Make sure you clean up your mess." Okay, cool, we get it. You're a badass. You're a hard ass, whatever. And then later on in the episode, he kind of flips it. Whenever the brother and sister get separated, he said, "What about your sister?" And so he has the tender heart at that point, and the brother's like, "What about her?" So it was so
and
back.
That was not earned at all in the 25-minute episode, which is tough to do. I think for me, I'm just getting a little like, okay, we're kind of spinning our wheels here. We have the guest actor du jour each week. We had Cara Gugino 2 weeks ago, Ming-Na Wen, and Gina Carano 2 weeks ago, Ming-Na Wen, and now Bill Burr. It's like, all right, let's get this thing moving. Banner, what'd you think?
Yeah, I normally love Bill Burr as an actor. I love him more as a comedian, but every role that I've seen him in as an actor, I thought he did well in. For example, Breaking Bad. He had a mediocre role in that. I thought he did fantastic, especially for a TV spot as well. This, like you said, he had no direction. He didn't know what he was supposed to be doing. Like, was he... I didn't buy him as this hard-ass, like, captain of the... or mission or whatever. Can we talk about Hellboy Light as well?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Hellboy Light. Yeah, between him and
so
Sion,
annoying.
the purple chick, there was just a lot of groaning and like lip licking. It was just like a bunch of characters that were, to say one note is even giving them too much credit. They were just like literal grunts.
Do less. Do less.
Less lip licking.
I will say this is the first time that I actually felt like Pedro Pascal was doing a good job. You know, we've talked about it in the past, like it's hard to tell because all he's doing is talking and like walking around all stiff shouldered. But this episode, maybe it's just because everybody else was so bad, he really stood out as doing a good job and not really mailing it in when it kind of feels like everybody else did.
Yeah, I wrote down that same note. I mean, the cream rises to the top. So when you put Pascal's Mondo in scenes with these characters that are seemingly, we're really not that interested in, we're not that invested in them, and they're very like superfluous, it seems like they're just there to be a foil to him. But he excelled and shined more so with them, almost like when LeBron is playing with shitty players. He knows he has to do more, and that's kind of like what Pascal did. He's like, just give me the ball, clear it out, I'll go score.
I said.
All right, our second criteria is the story. And I got to go first here. I'm starting to get a little frustrated, guys. The new planet and mission of the week was fun for about a week and a half. But I know Nate Thurman and I talked about this off pod. Not only now do we have our third straight separate storyline that seems to really not advance the plot. And the official synopsis says, tell me if this sounds familiar. The Mandalorian joins a crew of mercenaries on a dangerous mission. Like, it kind of sounds like the last 2 weeks. But yeah, I don't know, man. This thing, whatever momentum it had, and especially at the end of last episode with that closing scene, who is this person on Tatooine? We didn't do anything with that. You could almost rearrange the last 3 weeks episodes in any order, and it wouldn't really matter, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
pretty much. Yeah.
So I don't know.
They're not paying anything off here, and that's tough with a week to week show. Are we gonna keep coming back?
I mean, for
Yes.
9 episodes, yes, we are. Let's not let's not kid ourselves. But for 30-minute episodes, I didn't think they would. I'm not going to say they're filler episodes. Maybe it'll make sense at the end of the show. But the first 3 episodes felt like we were moving quick, and I was digging it. And now it feels like we're just kind of paying a little bit of fan service, visiting different parts of the galaxy, and introducing some fun characters each week, which is still good. But the show, it's just like weird pacing, man. We were going at like breakneck speed, and now all of a sudden we've been treading water for almost a month. It's a little confusing.
Yeah, the plot hasn't developed at all. And like I think you made a good point. The last 3 episodes literally could have been in any order, and it would not have made any difference because there was no development. And, yeah, what the hell? The whatever whoever walked up that we didn't get to see their face. What a cock tease on that. They didn't even like reward us for it the next episode. Come on.
They're leaving us with blue balls here, and it really fucking sucks.
Yeah.
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 True Detective kind of did something like that last season. Remember, there was that big reveal at the end of an episode, and then next week didn't even mention it. It's so frustrating.
Oh, I remember we kind of a side note, but on True Detective we kept saying, "Oh, this is a setup episode." Okay, they're doing 2 setup episodes. All right, here we go. All right,
Double
3
setup.
3
Okay.
setup episodes. You're pushing it.
And now you're like, I don't think there's gonna be a payoff to the setup.
No.
I think this episode, again, okay, it didn't advance the story at all, but just this episode as a standalone, I thought it was a lot of fun, if that means anything. I think they missed on the dialogue and they missed on some of the characters, but the idea of breaking somebody out of jail, I don't know. I enjoyed it.
No.
I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah, that's
I've
good.
liked all 3. Like, I like the Magnificent Seven homage. I love the stuff on Tatooine, and I liked this episode. They don't feel like a serial show. They all just feel like a monster of the week, quote unquote. You know?
Yeah. Since
Yeah.
we have shit on this episode quite a bit already, but just as a standalone episode by itself, I thought it was really entertaining. And it kind of got that horror sci-fi feel. Whenever the lights went out and they had like the red light, and they were traveling around like in the ship. I thought it was a really cool feel, and then like trying to like escape and also fight the other people at the same time. Overall, the episode was really entertaining, but I'm
Yeah,
just
if I just sat down and watched this episode, I'd be like, this is a great fucking show. I love this.
yeah,
But after 3 straight weeks, I'm just getting a little antsy. I got ants in my pants.
ants in my pants.
One thing that I did want to mention, there were 2 cool references in this. Number one, the dig at stormtroopers not being able to shoot for shit.
Loved it.
I think it's Bill Burr's character's like, yeah, I'm not a stormtrooper. Like, I could actually hit something I shoot at.
Yeah, he said he was an Imperial sniper or whatever. And then he made a joke. He's like, "I was a stormtrooper." I was like, "That's awesome."
Yeah, like don't get it twisted, all right? Because they're like notoriously can't hit anything. And then a Gungan reference too by Bill Burr when he's telling Mando to take off his mask. He's like, "Are you so too ugly to show us your face?" The fact that they're acknowledging the prequels is always great because they are kind of like the redheaded stepchild that we just like don't let come to dinner a lot of times. Like, yeah, Jar Jar Binks and the Gungans are out there somewhere, but we don't prefer to talk about that. But Filoni and Favreau have not shied away from that stuff, which is cool.
Which that may be part of the problem. We've gotten a ton of fan service in the last 2 episodes. Maybe stop doing that quite so much and actually progress the plot a little bit.
Yeah, if you're someone who hates fan service, and there are a lot of them in the Star Wars fan community, then I could see this show being pretty frustrating to you. I typically like it. Like, it's slop for me. I'm a pig. I'll just eat it up. But we have gotten to the point now where I need us to progress the narrative a little bit, especially since we only have 3 episodes left.
Correct.
And do either of you know, I think we've asked this earlier, is the finale episode, I'm assuming it's still going to be like 35 minutes, right?
I don't know.
I think
I would
it's
assume
a little
so.
extended.
Okay. So there is hope there. All right, our favorite scene from the episode. Nate, I'll just throw it to you because I know you have some momentum talking about the. You and I might kind of have the same one here if it's the one you were just referencing.
Yeah, that was kind of mine. It was probably the most elongated scene in the episode. But yeah, whenever the communications go out to the ship that they brought, the lights go out, they start shutting the doors. That whole scene was really cool, and it kind of had me on the edge of my seat the whole time. First, he starts fighting, as Banner said, Hellboy Light, and he crushes him in the doors, which was pretty awesome.
That's
And
his
then,
thing. Like,
yeah,
he just uses automatic doors to fucking kill people.
yeah, that was throwing some homage to the first episode. That's
Yeah.
nice. I like that.
Uh,
But yeah, that whole scene, and you got like kind of like a alien thriller kind of vibe and
That's
feel
the
from
feel I
that.
got. It was like an
Yeah,
alien feel.
yeah, and
uh,
so it was cool to like take the genre in a different direction just for 5 or 10 minutes. But that really stuck out just because it was such a change in what we had previously seen in really any of the episodes.
yeah, that had like a horror sci-fi feel
Yep.
to it. Like people said, sort of like Alien. I just thought it was cool. Like the hunters kind of become the hunted. The whole close quarters, like they're trapped inside the ship. And that, since their communications are gone, Mondo's like picking them off one by one. And then, sort of the counterpoint to that, they would cut back to the ship where Baby Yoda is like trying to hide in all the drawers from that
Yeah.
guy. Baby Yoda is fucking incredible. And then when he like starts to try to do his force thing at the end, and Mondo shoots that guy, Baby Yoda's like, I mean, I had it
He
under
like looks
control.
at his hand.
He's like, did I do that?
It's like Shaq. It's like Shaq making a left-handed layup.
Yes,
Yeah, when he had that lob from Kobe and he stares at his hand on the way down. One
exactly.
quick honorable mention, Banner, before I let you go. That hallway shootout scene where Bill Burr has like that little backpack gun that like
Oh, that thing is
extends.
fucking awesome.
That
Yeah.
was badass. And then when Mando showed up and just beat the shit out of all those droids with hand-to-hand combat, he really utilized the flamethrower a lot this episode, which I was a fan
Mhm.
of.
Yeah, that was my favorite scene when he just went in and just killed like 15 of the droids while everybody else just like stood there and was like, "Oh, wow, that's the first time we've really seen Mando not get his ass kicked at all and do all the ass kicking. He's always kind of like just kind of scraped by the edge of his pants there in all the fights he's been in. But this one he
Yeah,
really
he's not like the best brawler, but he
no,
just comes
he
out on
isn't.
top. And he utilized the grappling like rope a lot this episode. That and the flamethrower were his two go-tos. The move that he liked the
Yeah, I
most.
like all of his gadgets, his bat belt that he has.
And that what's the steel called that he has in his armor? Cor- I don't know, I
That's a
can't
great
remember.
question.
We've
I'm not smart enough to
some
keep up with all
no,
that.
I'm not either. Someone comment below. But he's getting his money's worth with that thing. I mean, on Tatooine it got fucked up. Again
He's
on this
definitely
ship
putting it
saved his
through the ringer.
yeah. Banner, so that was yours, the hallway scene?
Yeah, yeah, I love that scene. Like I said, that was the first time that we kind of got to see him, 100% healthy.
Yeah. The droids he was fighting looked kind of like a combination of those battle droids from Attack of the Clones and K2SO from Rogue One.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly. I was getting the K2S1 feel the whole time.
I was glad we got those little like remote control cars too from the original trilogy to come back.
Oh yeah,
I don't know the purpose they serve. They're like Roombas for the
they're like
Empire.
delivering mail across the spaceship.
Yeah. Like
No problem.
faxes. If their email servers go down, they just deliver like messages and notes back to back.
Memo, conference room, 5 minutes.
Well, this is 10 minutes old, so it's too late now. Thanks a
God
lot, you
damn
piece
it.
of shit RC car. All right, last part, theories and questions. I got 3.5 questions I want to ask. Anything you guys want to lead with?
I'll lead off with I really haven't got anything, and I'm gonna contribute this to a lack of direction from the episodes. I don't even know where they're trying to make this go or where they have this thing going. So I really have no idea. I can't even speculate on what I want to see or questions or anything. I've been so lost in the lack of a plot line lately.
Yeah. Banner, how about you?
Yeah, I am kind of just building off of one that I've already had. I think somehow Mando is going to become entangled with the Resistance and end up fighting for them or with them. Um, Maybe he's even at the beginning of the Resistance. But he just keeps on protecting Baby Yoda, and he's kind of doing all these right things, kind of righting all the wrongs that he had before um, he found Baby Yoda. And then again, I think somehow Baby Yoda is going to end up trying to be delivered to Luke, even if it's just in a reference. He doesn't actually make it.
Yeah, something has to happen to Baby Yoda to where he's not in the new trilogy.
That's what I was just about to ask. So what are we in the new trilogy? Probably 20 years away from where they're at right now in Mandalorian.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
I'd
I'd say
say
20 to 30.
20 to
somewhere.
30.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens to him to where he's not a big player in this new trilogy.
Yeah. The question I had is just I realized this a second ago. If someone asked me like what will the last 3 episodes of the show do? Like what is the plot that we're driving right now? What is it?
I don't think we have an answer to that.
What is he trying to do? Like what are and I'm not necessarily complaining, but like what is the show going for right now?
He's just keeping Baby Yoda as a pet.
The
Yeah,
only
he's,
It's like
The only thing
some
that I-
people get dogs, some people get cats. He gets Baby Yodas.
yeah, the only thing I can think of right now is that it hasn't been mentioned, but just by his moves that he's making, he's trying to gain enough capital right now by doing these little side jobs to do something eventually with the money that he gets.
right. Yeah, because he does seem to be driven by monetary gain right now.
Yeah.
One thing Nate mentioned this earlier. So the end of episode 5, when that person walks up to Ming Na Wen's character, and we've obviously speculated on whether she is actually dead or not. When do you guys think we will find out who that was?
Last episode.
The very last episode
I
of the
think
show.
so.
God,
Yeah.
that's frustrating.
The way it's going right now, that's just my guess.
Yeah, at the
I'm-
pace they're going right now, I'm thinking like season 3.
The non-greenlit season 3 of The Mandalorian.
Have
I'm
they even
afraid that
greenlit the second?
they have, yeah.
They
But
did.
I'm afraid to say that I agree with Nate on that one.
Yeah.
Another thing I had, and this is just a little note. Glad that we finally got an African American X-wing pilot. I think Red Squadron has come a long way.
They
has.
really have.
Yeah.
They had some issues in the past, but they've worked through them. They've shown resilience, and they've come out on top, I feel.
What if Star Wars just couldn't avoid like being a little bit too stereotypical, and he shows up and he's like, "Booyah, motherfucker!" And you're like, "Okay, why is he
That
talking?"
was not scripted.
We just let the actors go off page, and that's what he came up with. Last thing I had, I don't know if you guys could hear this. So when that droid who was piloting Mondo's ship was like hunting Baby Yoda, I remember he was trying to reach Bill Burr and the other mercenaries,
Yeah.
and he was telling them that he got some message from Carl Weathers' character
Yeah.
about the Mandalorian. Could you hear what Carl Weathers was saying? And because I'm assuming that could be maybe what drives the plot for this next episode.
No, I may just need to go back and watch that short, like 30 seconds, because I know before they took off from the main ship, I think that popped up and you couldn't hear anything. But then the second time, I think if you go back, maybe turn on the subtitles and captions, I think there will be a clue there. So I'm glad you mentioned that. I think that's something that I need to look into because that could play a bigger role down the line.
See,
Yeah, and
I
the
took it
message
the other way. I just thought it was him like sending out to everybody in the guild that Mando has a big bounty on his head, and that was just the droid figuring out that he has a big,
Oh, okay.
excuse me, bounty on his head. Because it seems like each week in all of these, someone has figured out that he has a bounty on his head, and that then he has to turn on him.
Yeah, that's kind of the move, right? He goes to a new planet, then that person eventually figures out that he's very wanted, and like the dynamic of their relationship changes, and then he leaves at the end of the episode.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But for the third straight week, we're left at the end of the episode asking where is Mando headed next, and what is he trying to do?
Mm-hmm.
I don't
No
know.
idea at this point.
All right. Anything else you guys want to leave the people with for season 1, episode 6 of The Mandalorian? Banner.
It better start getting good.
I mean, I think it's good. It's just like, what are we doing here?
I don't
You
know. They
Yeah.
need to up the game if they want me to come back for a second season, and that's saying a lot coming from me.
You
Yeah,
sound like a guy.
It really
here.
is. Yeah.
So, Nate, you feel the same way?
Yeah. And signing off here, I'll give an honorable mention to the last scene in the episode, which was pretty badass when he planted the tracker on him,
Oh, yeah.
and then
Yeah.
the X-wings
Baller
come
move.
in and start blowing their shit up. That's pretty badass.
Yeah, that purple dude's like, is this your tracking fob? Because it's not mine.
Oh god. He like hands it to him like that's gonna save him. Like no, they're
Yeah.
gonna blow everything
Yeah.
up.
I love how Red Squadron just shows up and like shoots first and asks questions later. Like they don't even know what like exactly what happened could have been the case. Like someone just leaves the tracking fob on a ship and you kill. I'm not going to say they're innocent people because they're certainly not, but they're definitely not the guys you are trying to murder.
Yeah, they don't care where it is. They're just like this thing's beeping. Kill it.
Yeah, it's like when your smoke detector goes off and you just beat the shit out of it with a hammer.
God damn it, which one is it?
I just put batteries in this. How they're dead. All right, for the American hero Nate Thurman and the mad scientist Brian Banner, I'm the mayor Jeff Hornacek, and we are the Bro Force Squad podcast. Thank you guys so much for checking us out. Be sure to catch all of our Mandalorian reviews. We only got 3 of these left, so we're pretty excited to see where this thing ends up. Follow us on Twitter at Bro Force Squad. Find us on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and Letterboxd.com. If you type in Bro Force Squad as 3 separate words, we're on all those channels. And check out everything on our website, broforcesquad.com. Till next time, we got to go hang out with Baby Yoda and listen to XM Radio. Baby Yoda's like probably listens to a bunch of Phoenix Suns games when Mando's not in the cockpit.
Yeah, and
He's a big-
we know Mando's a Knicks fan.
Big Knicks fan.
What if you it just showed him flying with like a Knicks Stephon Marbury Knicks jersey on? It's like, what?
He gets an incoming call from Spike Lee. Shows up on the dashboard.
Now,
I think right now he is literally just on the run. I don't think he has a plan right now.
Yeah.
I want a plan. I also think that, and this just came to me, the guy that's over Fennec, I think it's going to be somebody from Mando's past, like when he was a kid. You know, we've gotten those couple of weird flashbacks of him getting taken away from his parents.
Yeah.
Could that be his dad or the same people that killed his parents?
Bit of a stretch, but I would like it.
Yeah, I mean, if it's his dad, then we're kind of getting the false narrator, which isn't impossible, but like he's misremembering something or maybe had memories implanted. I don't know. Again, this is what we do. It's just total pot shots in the dark at the end of the episode.
We
What
don't
makes
care,
it great.
right?
Yeah. Banner, anything you want to add?
Nope. Just pull over for emergency vehicles.
That is great advice. And for the American hero Nate Thurman and the mad scientist Brian Banner, I'm the mayor Jeff Hornacek, and we are the Bro Force Squad podcast. Thank you guys so much for checking us out. Follow us on Twitter at Bro Force Squad. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube. Just type in Bro Force Squad, 3 separate words. Type those same 3 words into letterbox.com to find all of our reviews and check us out on our website, broforcesquad.com. Till next time, we will see you in the Mos Eisley Cantina. Their prices.
At first, Banner, I thought that